This is my new G6 50th anniversary FG Falcon. Hey guys, hope you're all doing well. I'm George and this is my latest purchase. So for those who know me already, you know that I already have an FG 50th anniversary XR6. Now this is the G6 version. And one of the reasons I purchased this is because I'm looking for a car to put all of my stock turbo parts on. So a lot of you may not know this, but I actually sold 3 of my previous projects. Who can guess which ones I sold in the comments? Some of you guys saw it on Marketplace, or some of them on Marketplace. And I ended up buying this one because I got it for an absolute bargain. However, there's one massive problem with this car. So you read the title correctly. I did buy this 2010 FG 50th anniversary G6 for $1,450. So these cars in good condition usually sell from around 8 to 12 grand, depending on the condition, Ks, and if it comes with a roadworthy. This one here is unfortunately slightly damaged, as you can see right here on the front passenger guard. And yes, it is a repairable write-off. So this car has to undergo an inspection before it can be re-registered and fixed properly. And it's quite a bit of a process. But I thought it would be a good piece of content to take you through my journey on how to get a car inspected and passed as a repairable write-off. So what appears to be not a lot of damage here on the guard, but it's also scraped up the side of the car, just here, and a little scrape here. What you'll notice is that this wheel is actually turned in a little bit, like turned a little bit to the left. When you come over to this side, that wheel's straight. So that's one of the major things wrong with this car. I've already got under there and had a look and I know what's up with this thing, but let's take a good look at the whole car. I also found something inside the car that is absolutely disgusting and a little bit disturbing. So this car is actually body-wise super clean. I haven't really found any defects on the vehicle, like no scratches. Oh, there's a tiny little scratch here. It's a Lightning Strike Silver, 2010 model. I had no idea how many Ks this thing had, but after picking it up, I saw that it has 209,000 kilometers. Let's start her up. So she seems to run pretty good. I've had it running for quite a while. It doesn't overheat or anything. The engine bay is one of the cleanest I've seen in an FG. Like, have a look at that exhaust cover, how clean that is for 210,000 Ks. Even the brake booster, it's looking really good in here. I've just thrown in a battery that I had because it did have a dead battery when I got it. It runs and drives as normal, no clonks. It has the ZF 6-speed transmission, which was a must for me. For those of you who have watched my other videos, you'd know that I swapped out my standard ECU for a Haltech ECU in my other FG. So I have a turbo ECU sitting there ready to go in this. I also have a full XR6 turbo exhaust. I have the full intake and crossover system. I have intercooler and looking to possibly do a gearbox in my other FG. So that gearbox from my FG the turbo one may go into this one, but we're just gonna keep it NA for now, but that's the long-term plans for this car. So fortunately, I've already sourced out a silver guard and a door from the wreckers for $400. So my investment so far in this car is 1,800 bucks. But after further investigation with this wheel, there's more damage than I thought. Let's have a look, shall we? This is what it's looking like inside the guard area. A little bit rusted and stuff, but 2010 model, pretty old car now. So the first thing I'm noticing is that the body has been scraped here by the wheel. Obviously the wheel's been turned and locked out too far. So that's gonna have to be fixed up. I've also got a crack in the side skirt here, which I have to repair. But the biggest issue I've found, and there could be more, is this part of the car here. So that bolt, I'm just gonna go handheld for this. So this bolt here, that actual, I don't know if you can actually see that, but in there is not supposed to have, focus your dog. So this part here is not supposed to have a big gaping hole next to that. So I've come to the conclusion that this car needs a complete new K-frame in it, or subframe as some people call it, which is pretty much replacing everything that the engine and suspension sits on to a new one, because I've referred to my other FG and it does not have that issue. It also looks like someone has been bashing at that. So you've got the marks there from some kind of hammer. and that whole thing looks to be on like the wrong kind of angle. So yeah, I'll have to get it up on the hoist and have a proper look. But a good friend of mine down at One Stop Bush Shop has given me a quote, and he said it's $800 for labor to put the new K-frame in, roughly, and then I'll have to find one for him to put in. So that is going to be a bit of an issue there. That's the major issue. Other stuff could happen, but I can't really see until we get it up on a hoist. So this being a 50th anniversary, it does come with a few different extras. So it's pretty much a base model, but it has G6E turbo wheels. It has grey accented fog light covers and grille, like all the 50th anniversaries. It also comes with the G6E leather interior seats, which I'm yet to fully detail this car. I did give it a quick wipe down, but as you can see, probably needs a new handbrake boot there. It's got a little bit of paint and stuff on the seat. I'm super wrapped to come with the original 50th anniversary mats. And yeah, everything works as it should in the car so far. So the back seat, this is where we have something weird that we found inside the pocket here. So whoever had the car before me left all their stuff in the car, and they also left their medical records. I probably shouldn't be reading this, but fold this guy's name out of it, and I probably shouldn't even be touching this paper, but whoever had this car before me, and they're going to be super embarrassed if they see this, but whatever, fuck, you should take it out of the car. So this guy's presenting his issue of penile discharge on and off with a white and yellowish in color, left groin pain, epididymal pain, needs a complete assessment and treatment. Yeah, not good. So the inside is just your normal FG. It does have the G6 blue dials. And one thing I noticed that's different to the XR6 is chrome door handles. And also this bottom part of the door here is leather. It's on the trim. So that on the XR6 is just plastic. So I'll start this thing up. .48K still empty. Yeah, it's got the crappy, standard display. Radio works, aircon works really good. Maybe we should do a little test skid. Yeah, so give me a couple of moments and I'll do a little test skid on my clothesline walkway there. I actually bought this car from Mannheim Auctions online. And for those of you who know me, you know I'm the king of buying cars sight unseen. I don't know why I keep doing it, but I just get this thrill out of it. And I feel like it's a gamble and it's one of the best ways to get a bargain, but at the same time, you can get ripped off. So Mannheim is an online auction site where you can buy secondhand cars from government or fleet. The public can also auction their cars off there and they grade them from like gold, silver, bronze class. It operates all over Australia, so you can log into the auction and see all the different categories through all the different states. And then you also have a salvage section where they have cars that have been smashed. So a lot of people will jump on there and buy a wrecked car, part it out for money, buy for a couple of thousand, sell the motor for 1,000, sell the doors for 200, sell the interior for 1,000, whatever. So that's the way a lot of wreckers actually work. They buy smashed cars from the auctions. So when you're buying a salvage car, there's 3 different types of, I think it's called like a title, written off vehicle record. So every single car that exists has a written off vehicle record. So normal cars that haven't been written off or in an accident, their written off vehicle record is clear. So there's no status in there saying that car was a repairable write-off or a statutory write-off. And for those of you who don't know, a repairable write-off is a vehicle that's been in an accident that has experienced damage to the point of where it's fixable. So the chassis might be bent or something, but it can be fixed. So that's a repairable write-off. And then a statutory write-off is a vehicle that has been deemed unsafe to be ever registered again. So no matter what you do, that chassis with that VIN number cannot ever be registered again. You may use that car as a track car or race car, but you can't actually use it as a car to drive on the road or anything like that. So this car that I've bought, this FG, is a repairable write-off. That means after the damage has been fixed, it has to go through an assessment to a center. I have to provide a roadworthy. So the car has to be fully roadworthy, pass the roadworthy, go in there, they'll assess the damage. You have to supply a report of all the damages that were fixed. You have to supply before and after photos. They can request photos from the auction yard. You have to provide receipts for all the different parts that you bought and the VIN numbers from the cars that have come off. So I've bought my parts from a guy down in Campbellfield who was wrecking an XR6. Took forever to get a VIN number off him. He said he was going to do it, and anyway. So yeah, it's going to be a bit of a journey. I thought it'd be some cool content because there's not really much information on registering repairable write-offs, and I thought that this car being as cheap as it was, and probably the perfect daily, because my other FG at the moment, the XR50, is not a very practical daily, and I love FGs. They drive good. A lot of people hate them, but literally they're like one of the most cheapest, most practical cars you can get. Yes, they're not very unique, but parts availability is plentiful. It's cheap if you want to replace something. If you go to the Wreckers, there's a million parts, and yeah, they're just a great car. Like, they're rear-wheel drive. They don't make rear-wheel drive cars no more. And yeah, 1,400 bucks. I mean, these things sell for 10, 12 grand when they're fixed. This car's been devalued being a repairable write-off, but I thought it would be a cool kind of story to bring you guys along and show what's going to happen with this new project of mine. So I wanted to touch a little bit more on the bidding at Mannheim. So when you bid on a car at the auctions, I'm not sure if they do it in-house anymore, but you used to be able to go there and auction in-house, and you'd sit there and bid on the cars that come through. But salvage, it's all online. Basically, the lot number comes up. There's two kinds of auctions on Mannheim. One of them is a simulcast auction, the other one is a bid now. So the bid now one lasts for a couple of days, and then at the end of the auction, it does a bit of a time limit, and you can bid, obviously. And if someone has bidded within the last minute, or I think, then it puts another minute on, another minute on, another minute on. I thought this car was gonna go for way more than it did. But yeah, I ended up winning it. Thanks for watching, guys. Let me know what you think in the comments below of what you think could be wrong with this car also, and what you think I should do with it. It is a lot of work turbo converting this thing and making it reliable, but why not? I don't really want to go and pay 25 grand for an extra XR6 turbo, and yeah, I'm pulling all the stock parts off my other one. They're all sitting in the shed, so I needed a donor car to put them all on and create a nice, reliable daily car that's not too over the top. Thanks for watching, guys. Stay tuned for more street scene stuff. Next week, we are featuring a couple of insanely high-powered Barras. We've got a 620 kilowatt at the wheels F6 and another 750 kilowatt at the wheel Falcon as well, and heaps of other stuff. Love you all, stay safe, and I'll see you next week. Peace.